Good morning, you guys. It's morning here. It's December 1st, and I wanted to pop back on and do a really quick tutorial on how I do my photos for my journals. And I pretty much follow the standard across using a junk journal, my traveler's notebook, and when I document in my happy planner. And so I wanted to kind of show you guys, I get a lot of questions on how I create the photos, and so I wanted to do a really quick tutorial and show you how to do that. But real quick before I show you how, this is going to be the junk journal, as you guys have seen over the last few video series. And since I'm using kind of a smaller scale than, I guess if you looked at it as a 12 by 12 scrapbook, but it's more or less of a journaling, I want to put as many photos as I can in here. And so I'm going to use the same process as I do in all my other journals. And I'm going to show you real quick how I do that. So real quickly here, this is my traveler's notebook, and this is my everyday journaling that I do. And so I wanted to show you real quick. This is one of the pieces that I cut from, which kind of show you that in a minute. It's actually, I think it measures like a 2 by 2, but I get them printed on a 4 by 4. So, but it's to me, I could fit a 4 by 4. You could definitely fit a 4 by 6 in the in your journal, but I like to not do such a bigger pictures a lot of times because I'm using words. I haven't put my words in here yet, but like for instance, this is one that I did a while back, a collage, and so I was able to fit a lot of pictures and just kind of wrote a little bit about each of the pictures in my tin. Sorry, my desk. You guys, that's the goal today, is since we're starting December 1st, I want to get my desk cleared off. It's just a mess, but it's because I've been creating, and I think all of us know when we create, our desks are very messy. So there's one. Oh, there's my daughter's picture. And then I wanted to show you, this is one that I'm working on right now, documenting. This is when we decorated our Christmas tree. And so this is basically how I develop most of my pictures. And so that way I fit several pictures in there, and I get, you know, several different images. And a lot of my pictures I take in on my phone in the square version anyway, unless I know I'm going to be doing a 4 by 6. But my overall, the way that I take pictures is typically in a 4 by 4, the square frame. Also because I do a lot of Instagram, so that's one of the reasons too. So let me, I'm going to show you one more example of how I do these photos. And this is my happy planner. And so this is how I document with my everyday. This is kind of taken over the Project Life system that I used to keep. And this is basically where I'm same situation. I print out the 2 by 2s. Actually, I print out the 4 by 4s and then cut them and put them in the little squares. So it works perfectly for this type of documentation as well. In fact, I'm going to do a major update on my happy planner because I've kind of let it go to the wayside, but more on that later. So I purchased, this is kind of how I keep my photos. I purchased this adorable box. I think it was from TJ Maxx or something. Yeah, TJ Maxx, $5. It was so cute. I'm like, oh, that'd be a perfect place to keep all my pictures. So I develop my pictures pretty much almost weekly, if not twice a week, just because I don't want to forget or lose track of what I haven't developed. Now, if you're like me, which I'm not proud or anything, but I have a lot of photos and a lot of things that I haven't documented. But what my goal is like I said, I'm going to sit down probably like between the week between Christmas and New Year's and really try to update my happy planner, because it is something that I love to do. My sister does it so that we have we can get together. We're planning on getting together in January and working on our happy planners together. So I love that concept, but I've actually gotten really bad about not keeping it up to date, but it is something that I love to do and I love to look back on. So basically I keep my photos in here. Now you may look at it and say, what about if you develop the pictures and you don't know where they're not dated. And I'm going to show you the trick to that as well. So basically what I do is I use my phone for almost all my photos, and it's something that I've done in the past that it's convenient. I'm not saying I don't use my camera. To be perfectly honest, when I packed up 6 months ago, I have no idea where my cameras are. I know it's horrible. You guys, my garage should be unpacked, but I'm so busy all the time. It's hard, so I try to do one box at a time. But anyway, that's beside the story. So I use my phone for a lot, practically all my photos. And I'll show you real quick. Are you guys, oh sorry, let me get this in the screen. So I have all my photos here, and basically what I do is I use different apps. So my main app that I use is ABM, A Beautiful Mess. And I go in here and I use a collage, and they have all these different collages. There's several different pick stitch, I think, I'll go back and look for it. But my main one that I use is this four square one. So let me show you real quick. So I go here, and then I just click on here and I can pick whatever pictures I want. So let's say for instance, we're gonna just pick this past week. So this one is hilarious because my husband got up on the roof. None of us were home. He's gonna kill me telling me this story, but I don't think he watches these videos. Anyway, he was having some neat issues, so he kind of kicked off the ladder. Well, the ladder fell. He calls me. He's like, "Where are you at?" And so that's a hilarious story. I can't wait to tell it in my journal. I'm sure he's going to love that. And then we also did our cow photo for our 4-H program, so I'm going to put that in there. And then, let's see what else happened in the week. Oh yeah, I decorated this cute little fun tree that I've had. And then, what else do we got? So, okay, I'll just pick this random photo of my cat. Okay, so I have my stories here. I check mark it, yes, that's what I want to do. You could add words in here, like you could put funny. Let's do that. Always use typically this one, but we'll go with the thinner one. Let's just put on, it's not really funny. I mean, seriously, I was telling my husband, you cannot get up on the roof when we're not home. What if you fell and no one was here? Anyway, kind of straighten it up here. I can put that if you want to. I mean, it takes away from the picture, but maybe put it on the rooftop there. So you can add words if you wanted to. Check mark it there. You can change the words. There's all these different little things that you can put onto the picture. Let's see if you got a hello, love. Put it next to my tree over here so you can't really see it, so maybe you want to change it to pink. You can change it to pink. Matches the tree. So check mark it here. I'm done with all my tweaking and changing and adding. Push done. Yes, you're done. It's saving your photo. And then this is where it allows you to either share. I don't print from here, but you could share it if I wanted to share this collage on like Instagram or Facebook or something like that. So start again, and then you can come back and do another one. And then when you go to find your photos, you can go back up here to your photos. Oops. Oh, I don't know how I got myself into this. Sometimes whoops. Okay, there it is. Okay, so, and basically there's your pictures, and then it's saved into your file. And as you can tell, some of mine, all photos, I just did a big grouping the other day. Can't find it now, but I'll save them. I know, like right here, this was me when I developed these. That was around Thanksgiving. So I had developed all those. I have those already developed, typically because seriously, you guys, I think I have like 10,000 photos, and I am always worried that I'm going to lose them. So I need to go in and actually kind of delete those out, because they were just basically me taking photos. That's more information than what you need to know at this point, but okay, so that's that. Now, you have your collage done, you have your pictures selected, and that's the cool thing about that app is if you wanted to do, like I did one where my son had gone to school, so I did, let me go back and I'll show you, like while I'm talking about it. Like say you wanted to do like this kind of app, whoops, right here. So my son had gone to school, so I did a full length picture of him. I did like his dorm photo, like this, they had this little thing on the dorm, and then I did a little group photo of all of us when we had dropped him off. You could do your Christmas tree here, and then you could do like 2 other separate little decorations that are in the house, or you know, you could do your tree here and you could write something here and then put something there. It's just so many different options that you can use. So I wanted to kind of show you another app, this Pick Stitch. It's another app that has, I think this actually has a lot more collages to pick from. And I think you can also do, whoops, see it has like all those. So you have just, and I think that you can buy, see the ones that are locked, you can buy those. The other thing that if I do want to do just a 4x4 photo on Beautiful Mess, I do a solo. So say if I want to document, I'm going to show these on Instagram later, these cute little vintage angels that I found. So if I wanted to document just that, I can just click here and done, yes. And there you have it. You have that photo saved as well. Okay, so once I have all my photos in here, I'm trying to think of one other one. Now I use PicMonkey a lot, but what they don't, I try to go in here and they have that Bokeh, oh, what's the name of it? I love this app. Bokeh, B-O-K-E-H. I mean, B-O-K-E-H. My apps are not working for some reason. I've got to work with them. And I love that. That puts all the little stars all over and the little bubbles and sparkles and stuff you can add. Actually, I do have, I played with it a little bit yesterday. Oh, see, I need to update my phone for that one. They have several different apps out there. See all that? Oh, don't want that. Like, say, for instance, let me do this, me and my son here. If I wanted to do like a heart, it adds like a heart and sparkles or something, you know. But I like the just, these I have to purchase many of those as well. But they have all different, like, here's one. Oh, can't get that one. Like this. Especially like around Christmas if you wanted to add some fun little things like that to it. But I love that. Now in PicMonkey, they have a lot, not so, I like just kind of the white shimmery, you know. But what I realize is I'm not able to do it on my app. So I haven't Googled it to figure it out, but I know you can go online. You can go into your phone, onto your, I save, okay, let me give, this is how I do. I really do a lot of it with my product, you know, when I sell my kits. So if I go in here, I'll go in here and like, this is one that I messed around with too. This was a cool picture of the tree. We were outside setting lights up, and Brazos had a little friend over, and they were putting together the gingerbread house. Well, I looked through our picture window, and it just was like magical because the tree was there. They were decorating. They were having a blast. It was the inside of the house. I just love this picture. I started playing around with it, putting it like black and white and stuff, and I actually developed it because I just love this picture. But so you can go in and play around with it, you know, tweak it within. Let's see if we can. These were some things. Let's say I edited. This is, if y'all didn't miss it and y'all didn't watch the video before, I offered some free printables, and they're still available online. But so for instance, I do the effects if I wanted to do like a pink fog or black and white, you know, anything like that. You can change them in here. Check mark it. I don't really like that actually. Let me go back to the I know this is just an example, but I'm like, oh, I don't really like that. Look, you can check mark it, you can save it, and what I do is I save it to my hub, And that way I can go to my computer. Oops, excuse me. I can go to my computer and I can go into the actual computer and mess around with it on there as well, or save it. I like, for instance, I save it to my website. So that's something you can do too. You don't have to save it to your hub. You can save it to your phone as well. The other thing is what I was saying about that sparkly, the bokeh. Gosh, I wish I was saying it correctly. I hope I am. Then I can do it on my computer, but for some reason I don't have the option on this app. But so I could save this photo. I took it on my phone. I save it to my hub. I go to my laptop. I go back into PicMonkey and I pick it up out of my hub, and then I can play with it there. Save it back to my hub, and then I can take it to my phone and play with it there. So there's just so many options. This is what I use to work for me. So say for instance you got all your photos all pretty and ready to go. I don't know if this is I don't think it's international, so I know this is in the States, but I'm sure you guys that are international can do this. I'm sure however you develop your photos. I develop here it to Walgreens. Now most of my pictures come out glossy. If you wanted to have them matte, they don't do that in the store. At least here they don't. So you could have them done, I think they ship them off and they can ship them to you, which I love the matte, but I am I'm ready to have my photos now type of person. So I just basically, I just have them develop it. Because what I do is sometimes even, I know this is really bad, but if you guys are familiar with Austin, Texas, you know that traffic is horrible here. So while I'm sitting at those stoplights 8 times in a row, I go in here and order my photos. So you go into photos, you say, look at that, 40% off mobile app photos. You go to prints. You can actually develop from your device, Facebook or Instagram. I'll go to my device. It's going to load up all my photos. And then let's just randomly, like here's the one I just did. And let's just randomly pick some. So I'm going to develop all these, I'm just randomly. Then next, and then you can come in here and order your 4x4s. There's that little collage that I did. Here's my tree. So you can come in here and order whatever size that you want. And it gives you the option, like say for instance you want an 8x10 of the tree. And it basically, if you want more prints, like say for instance you want to share this, if somebody else is wanting the picture too, you can order as many as you want. Add the code, you hit next, and then it's going to pull up all your Walgreens in that vicinity, which one's ever is closest. What's really cool about this one is, say for instance, like right now, it's pulling up my local, the ones that are closest to me. But if you wanted to, say for instance, if you were in another city and you wanted to develop pictures, they would pull up the Walgreens that are closest to you and you could go develop it. So if I was in Austin that day, or I've done it at my parents' house when I'm out at my parents' and I'm picking up photos, especially like if my mom loves photos too, then I can actually send those to her and she can go pick them up. I love this app. I love Walgreens for it. And what's so fun about, I live kind of I live in a small town, but where I get my pictures developed is a fairly small town. They know me. She goes, oh, I know who you are. Not all of them do, but it's really cool. And, you're given the option to view your photos. But I know that there is some definitely online, like Praninsky. I know that you can do all sorts of different sizes for that company. So definitely check them out. Or if you can't get out and get pictures, there are definitely ways to have them shipped to you. So there is different ways, but this is just the way that I handle all my photos. So now I've put my photos together. I've run by there to pick them up, and this is what I just picked up yesterday. So I had some pictures of myself in there. So I've developed, because I wanted to put the little dress, but we're not gonna, I had that dress on Instagram. But so I've picked up my photos, and one of the things that I did was I got our Christmas tree that I had developed, because it is something that I'm going to want to put in my December daily. And I wanted a fairly large picture. So I can go in here into my December journal, And now I don't know what day exactly I'm going to document. I think I actually made a tab that says Christmas tree on it. I thought I did. At least that's what I thought in my head, because I'm like, oh, I always do a Christmas tree. So let's just, oh, one of my favorite pictures. So let's just say I'm going to do it on this particular picture. Then I can just go in here, and it's almost a perfect size. Like I said, if you do like the online and they can ship them to you, I think it's Perninsky, P-E-R. I follow her on Instagram. And she can actually, I think you can order all different kind of photos from her. And I'm going to leave her link below. I need to make a note to do that when I load up. Oops. That was pleasant. I love that artist, but sometimes that was a little crazy. Okay, let's see here if I can find who I'm talking about. Oh, Perninsky Prints. So, definitely check them out. P-E-R-S-N-I-C-K-E-T-Y Prints. Right, they print in Utah. They ship to you. I know a lot of people use them. They definitely are able to do different size prints, so that is a plus for them, and they ship it also. But anyway, so yeah, so then you can go in here and you can add these photos. And I wanted to just kind of show you, like, say if I wanted to do like a collage. Let's see if I have a different. Oh, like here's some that I've already kind of cut on. Oh, there's that same picture I just did in black and white. You can actually cut them out and then move them around. And then that's what I love about these little ones, is that you can, like, say if you put a piece of cardstock, you know, here, and you did your little photo. Just cut this off real quick here. You can tell your little story. And then it's like the perfect little size. So again, I mean, you could tell your story here. You could add, you know, piece of cardstock on the side here and tell your story there. I mean, this one is definitely going to have a whole page, but you know, where I'll write next to it or whatever. But just to kind of get an idea, if you do take pictures 4x6, they do print out. I just did some. Oh, here we go. We had gone out to. Oh, here we go. My when my grandpa had passed away, we did pictures and I took them all in 4x6. And so they developed those as well. And you can use those in your book as well. But it's just very, very convenient. I will randomly, like I said yesterday, I developed 3 photos, you guys. So I don't necessarily wait till I have a big stack. I work better developing them and not have the big stack. I mean, everybody's different, but that's just kind of what works for me. So, okay, well, that's a wrap on the photos, and I hope that it's inspiring and it's helpful, and you're able to get your photos fairly easy, you know, where it's not a challenge, so that you're able to definitely document your December. So, all right, you guys, let the fun begin. And I'm going to do one more video to this series. It's going to be a final flip through to preparing. My goal is to get this, I have some wording that I'm going to be putting in here, and then I'm going to do a final flip through of kind of like my base of starting out, and then that will kind of close up the series. I do plan on coming back in here you know, once we get into the month, once we get into the December daily, and journal some pages with you guys. That's my goal. I hope that my time and allows for that. And so thanks for watching, and I appreciate every one of you, and I will see you in my next video. Hey you guys, I just realized there was one thing that I had mentioned earlier in the video that I forgot to cover. Is like, say for instance, I develop, remember how I said that I develop all these photos, and then I have a trick to figuring out. So say for instance, this one in particular, my daughter's playing the tuba, and I don't remember, I know I developed it, and I can't remember the exact date, and I want to add it to my Happy Planner memory keeping. So basically, oops, I would just go into my photos, and I can go back. Well, I basically can go back and find the photo. There she is playing the tuba, and then it'll actually have the date on there. So that's one of the things that I really like about having my pictures on my phone, is because I am able to go back in and say, oh, that was November the 12th, 19th. So then I know where to add the photos. So that's just kind of my trick on how I do it. And I was just thinking, I was just uploading the video and I remembered, I'm like, oh, I forgot to mention how I backtrack those photos that I develop, because I take a lot of pictures for business and for social and for just life in general, and all my pictures and everything, and so it's just easier for me to get them developed so that I have them already, that versus going back 6 months, because literally, you guys, I'm that far behind in my Happy Planner, then going back 6 months and trying to figure out where I'm at. So I just kind of keep them in a folder, and my goal is not to be 6 months behind, but sometimes things just happen, and before you know it, it is. So anyway, thanks again, and I will see you in my next video.